I've gained weight. I don't look like I did in 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, or even really 2023. I got a comment recently on an older video asking me why I don't look like my thumbnail picture. And I mean, the truth is my body's always changing. My goals have been changing over the past bit. But not gonna lie, it really made me feel not good, as you could probably assume. The thing is, gaining weight doesn't necessarily mean gaining fat. It may not mean gaining muscle. It probably means gaining both. There's also water weight, etc. You know, your actual weight, the number on the scale, fluctuates so much day to day or even times of the day. And you know, especially if you've been following for a while, I've had a lot of different phases. Your fitness journey as a whole, it's not one phase, right? It kind of goes in phases. There's seasons, there's different parts to it, of course. And as you learn and grow, you're gonna evolve, you're gonna change your mind, things are gonna change, but that's just a sign that you're growing. You know, for me, for example, I've had phases of simply being a young girl and young college girl, and then being overweight, and then being skinny, being somewhere in the middle. And I don't know what I am now, which the comment had me like spiraling and questioning, but it's like also I don't really need to define what I even am now. But I do know what I'm working towards. I am so insanely grateful, insanely privileged, and lucky to be making videos online that resonate with an incredible audience and to have found like my people and build a community. It's truly a dream come true. But it is a very weird concept to kind of feel tied to before and after pictures, especially because that kind of put me on the map, right? Like I fully acknowledge that and I know that, and that is a large foundation of me and of what I post and so much success. But also that video was posted January 2nd of 2022. It is now past January 2nd of 2024. It's been over 2 years since I posted my first initial weight loss video. And it would be so weird if like my goals never changed and I was still doing the same stuff every day. And I don't know, like I learned a lot during that journey. If you haven't watched that video, I definitely suggest you do. And a lot of the things I've learned, I've kept with me to today. Of course, I am not bashing that video. I'm not bashing myself 2 years ago. Like there is no bad feelings towards that. And I am not putting that down to make me sound better or anything right now. But I am just saying like who I was over 2 years ago is not exactly the same as who I am now. Right? Like not to a T. I don't even live in the same place anymore. I stand by that video and what I said in it. It's just done so much for me. And I am so proud of myself and how far I've come. It sparked my passion for like the world of health and wellness and helped me create the lifestyle that I live today. And just my daily habits and what I do every single day. But so no, I don't look like that before and after. I also kind of around that time and a little bit after, I would post a lot of videos about weight loss, and I just don't really resonate with them anymore. I do think they're great videos. They have great content in them. They're very valuable, but I wouldn't consider myself like a weight loss channel. And I almost feel weird that I am like announcing this and like making this video, but I almost feel called to. Like I feel like people don't necessarily follow me for like weight loss specific advice anymore, whether they once did or not. Because weight loss is not my goal and it's not the only thing I do, and I am very much like health oriented, fitness, wellness, well-being, all of that stuff. I love that stuff and that is a huge part of my life and what I post about, but it's not super specific to weight loss, at least anymore. But I feel like that's okay. You know, I was overweight and I got skinny, so of course that was great. It was amazing. It was a great transformation. I learned so much, I shared so much, and I maintained that figure for a while. Of course, throughout the next little bit, my body would fluctuate, but I was just relatively small and I kept a lot of weight off my body. But right now, I'm really trying to get strong. And again, you probably already know that, especially if you've been following me for at least a little bit. Like I talk about it a lot, you know? I'm really into the weights lately. I'm trying to get strong. Of course, I want to lean out, but I am just so into like building muscle and my relationship with the gym and with weightlifting, and I've been learning so much about how it's so good for you to be building muscle for your short-term and your long-term health and just trying to build, you know, an overall healthy body. It's so valuable in so many ways. So over the past 2 years, my relationship with food, with exercise, with my goals, it has continued to change. To be completely honest, I never weigh myself. Like that number, it's none of my business in my head. I'm like, I just don't care to, because what does that really tell me? It's just a number. It doesn't tell you your body fat percentage. It doesn't tell you how much muscle you have. Like, it's just kind of irrelevant in my head. For some people, maybe it does matter, but for me, I just don't care about it. And so I actually weighed myself the other day because I was trying to ship out a package and I need to figure out how much it weighed. So I weighed myself, got off, picked up the package, weighed it, subtracted, so I could figure out how much the package was to send out. And I definitely have put on weight in terms of the number on the scale is definitely higher compared to, you know, for sure my initial weight loss video. I never really discuss numbers. Like, I never really tell you how much I weigh, because I just think, like, I don't want anyone comparing. I don't want anyone like trying to get like, oh, if she's this and I want to look this way, I have to get this close to her number, whatever. Like, that's just dumb. It's just toxic. I don't talk about numbers too much because in my head, it really doesn't benefit anyone. Or I guess I think it could hurt more than help. So I never really talk numbers. But when I was weighing myself, I do want to mention that, like, the number that I am right now, it's not that far away from my original weight loss video, like my before. And that says a lot, because I don't look anything like my before. Like, I'm not making this video to say like, oh, I gained weight because I like reverted back to that, because that is not the case at all. I'm trying to emphasize the point that, like, not only am I continuing to grow and evolve and things are changing and it's okay for that number to change, but also, like, I do want to emphasize how important it is to not necessarily be tied to it, because muscle is more dense than fat, right? We could have two people the same height, the same weight, yet look so insanely different because of body composition. And because lately I have been trying to build muscle, when you do build muscle, a lot of the times you kind of put more fat on your body as well. And I'm still trying to understand kind of like the body recomposition thing. I'm not going through a bulk or like a cut right now necessarily, but I am weightlifting consistently and I am eating a good amount of protein, and I'm just doing what really feels good for me and what I think is gonna move the needle for me and get me closer to my goals. Something I really struggled with over time is, like, yes, I knew how to get skinny. Like, I knew what worked for me. I knew what worked for my body. It wasn't toxic. Like, I didn't restrict crazy. You know, I really think that I found a healthy relationship with the whole like losing weight thing and what worked for my body, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I'm not bashing my previous self, because that is just not productive, and I don't believe that, like, in my previous videos or anything, I was like spreading this like terrible information, because it was just a different season. I'm just in a different season right now, in a different phase of my fitness journey. But just keep in mind, your fitness journey is like your entire life, right? Like, it's gonna keep changing as I get older. Say I have kids one day, that will be a whole different thing, like, whatever. But so yeah, like, I have to admit, yes, I put on weight, and I don't feel like an imposter. I don't feel like I'm being fake. I don't feel like wrong for this being my life right now. You know, like, just because I post about like health and wellness and fitness and I'm not like in the most perfect shape ever, like, I think that's okay. Like, I'm human, you know? And again, I don't look like my before, you know, my very first before, because that would be an issue. Then it's like, okay, Morgan, clearly you don't practice what you preach, because how can you say all this stuff and then look like that? Like, that would be an extreme. But I really fully don't think I look like that at all. So I don't know. And also, looks aren't everything. How you feel plays a huge part in your day-to-day. And I'm simply the worst liar ever, so I just don't think I could keep that up for a while. But to kind of recap you, so like last summer, the summer of 2023, I tried starting to play around with weights a little bit more, moving from just the 12-3-30 and like incline walking, which I still do to this day, minimum once a week, but sometimes several times a week, depends on the week. But so I was mostly incline walking, kind of like opened the door to fitness for me, which is great. So happy about it, so thankful for it again. Then last summer I tried kind of starting to play around with weights, like figure it out, like what's going on? Why do people lift weights? What does it do for you? I don't know, I didn't know what I was doing, but starting last summer, not consistently. I tried to kind of have like a week split, but it was new. I was trying to just learn, you know? Then end of January this year, I started following a plan. I'm now on like my second phase, or like my second plan or whatever. They're only 6 weeks, but also in 6 weeks, you're not gonna have a complete body transformation, right? But my workouts now are heavily focused on weightlifting. I lift 5 days a week. I walk a ton. I do a dedicated cardio day. That's just where I am right now. Not to say that is fully right, fully wrong, but I've also been like just fully consuming myself with learning and knowledge and listening to people. And I know anyone can have a podcast these days, right? But I'm really, really into Mind Pump, and I love The Pursuit of Wellness. And to me, like, those are good sources. Maybe some stuff talked on there isn't fully factual, whatever, some biases, whatever. But that's why it's not like I listen to an episode and fully implement every single thing they're saying. You know, like, it's nice to take in information, but then if you want to actually consider putting it into your lifestyle, you do a little bit more research. You're like, okay, is what they're talking about actually a thing, you know, whatever. So I lately have just been so interested and so into that world, and I feel like I've really just been building such a positive relationship with me in the gym. And not to say it was negative before. When I was overweight, like, I didn't work out, obviously. Like, I didn't move my body. I just didn't do that. Throughout college, I walked everywhere. Like, I never was one to take the bus. I went to a school with a fairly large campus. Like, I feel like that probably helped keep me in shape, and just the fact that I was younger. And then when I did put on weight, I like didn't do anything. Then I started working out. It was at home, but I picked back up the walking, and so I was building a great relationship with exercise then, and now it just continues to evolve. And I would say that throughout this whole past few years, it's been very positive for me, which I'm really happy about that. But right now it's just different. Previously, I'd kind of like work out at night, and I'd do a lot of incline walking, a lot of sweating, and just kind of like let my mind wander. Like, it was kind of like a stress relief for me, which is very good, very positive. And now my workouts are a little different in the sense that I work out at 9 a.m. every day, and I lift weights, and I try to make it kind of like relaxing and slow and controlled, and just a very feel-good process. And not that before it wasn't feel good, but it's just evolved. I don't know, I feel like I'm talking in circles right now, but I'm just trying to say that, like, I really like where I'm at right now, and I'm trying to learn and grow every day, and I feel like I'm on a really good road, a really good path, and I feel so good every day. I mean, most days, right? You're gonna have days where you feel off, or like if I'm on my period, you know, whatever. But generally, I feel so good, and I love where I'm at and what I've built. And with that, it did involve gaining some weight. When you're trying to build muscle, and when you go from no lifting weights to trying to lift weights, you have to eat for it. And my body burns through food so much faster than it did before, so I'm like hungrier, and I don't know. Of course, there's times where I'm really good with my nutrition, there's times where I'm not, but that's life. But I want you to know that I'm not oblivious to the fact that I look different and that I have gained weight, and I'm not this like skinny little after picture that I once was, but I'm not unhappy about it. You know, I'm happy with where I am, and I feel so much stronger, and I truly believe, like, looking at the scale, I probably have put on a lot of muscle. I'm sure I've put on some fat too, but like, I also think I've put on so much muscle, and that's something to be proud of. Also, I guess this video is me being like, hey, like, I know I'm not like a weight loss tips channel anymore, and like I kind of used to be, so I don't know. This isn't necessarily like a new chapter, but I felt like I needed to have this discussion, and you know, I felt called out when I got that comment, and icky, and just like not good, and I felt kind of bad. But then again, I took a step back and I was like, wait, like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to look like that anymore. Like, I have new goals, and I'm happy I did the weight loss, but now I'm trying to do the strong thing. I don't just want to be skinny, I want to be strong. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, doing tons of walking, trying to shed a few pounds, whatever. But my lifestyle is a little bit different now, and I really love it. And if I could recommend anyone, I would say go lift a weight and go get some steps in. You know, of course, everybody's different. Not one strategy is going to work for everyone, but I've just learned how important it is to have muscle on your body. You know, muscle is a very expensive tissue, as the Mind Pump guys say it, but it's a very good thing to have. And it's really great that building muscle gives you both an awesome look, but also insanely good health benefits. It's a win-win. It's like this magic code. Like, who would have thought that the people that are in the gym are like onto something? You know, like, some people think that like fitness gurus are insane, but it's just like, have you tried it? I also really think it helps with your relationship with your body. Of course, this is, I guess, only speaking on what I feel like. I don't know everyone else's relationship, but, you know, showing up every day and like lifting weights and like trying to get strong and like do these things, and like you just kind of feel more athletic. Maneuvering around in the gym and feeling strong is just so empowering, especially as a woman. I think it's very cool, and it's just so good for you long term. I just don't see a downside to it, honestly. And like, I get it that, you know, I had this great before and after, and that's how, you know, maybe some people discovered me, and that's, again, what kind of put me on the map, and that's the stuff I talk about. So it's like, oh, you have one job is to like stay in shape, and if you gain weight, it's like your credibility's gone, like whatever. Like, I don't know, I kind of understand that perspective. But then again, like, I just want to emphasize that my goals are so different, and I change year to year, and I just feel like that's more than okay. And again, I'm so thankful for that phase of my life and everything it's done for me, but I am moving on, you know, I am growing and learning and evolving. I know I've said that like 300 times already in this video, but that's just how life works. Like, how sad if you were stagnant the whole time. And that really was my foundation, which is great. But yes, I put on some weight, I have, and it's all a positive thing in my head. Like, I don't think I look bad. I really don't. And I'm only trying to get better. You know, I've only been consistently following a workout plan for a little over 2 months, and my body's not going to completely change in 2 months. You know, like, I'm expecting to want to compare like where I'm at in February or March of 2025 and look back and have a bigger difference, but I'm not expecting these crazy results right now after only 2 months of consistently like hitting my protein, having a actual like workout plan, workout program, not just like going Duncan not just like going to the gym and shooting the shit to pass the time just to say I went to the gym. And I'm so happy that you've been here and following along and been with me on this journey. And you know, I truly feel like I have people that are evolving with me, which is the best part of it. So I feel like you understand this, and I don't think anyone's like mad at me for like gaining weight or whatever, but I just like, you know, I kind of felt called out, and I was like, all right, let's talk about it. If there's ever an issue or like ever something going on, like, I want to be transparent, and I'm gonna talk about it. Like, if that's one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk about it and talk to you about it, because I want to be on the same page, and I don't, again, want you to think that I think I look like that. I think I kind of want to do like an updated fitness journey video. I haven't really like filled in the gaps. I only have that one fitness journey video. I kind of want to catch you up to speed in a few months, kind of like when I feel ready to, because I really feel like I'm a different person from my initial video. Like, I've just learned so much, and I feel like I have so much to share. It's really amazing. It's like the more I learn, the more I just love this stuff. And I'm so happy this is like my niche per se and what I talk about, because I just love it. Like, I'm fascinated by it all, and I love that I have people that feel the same. I don't know, I kind of just wanted to chat, wanted to open this up. Feel free to let me know your thoughts, and just know it's okay to gain weight, or to not even know how much you weigh, because I simply like to ignore that. Like, that's just none of my business. Obviously you can like see if you've gained weight too, you know, like, that's where this is stemming from, but it's all okay. How you feel over how you look any day. I feel like that's one of the best metrics, is like, okay, how do you feel? How do you really feel? What are you doing day to day, and how is it making you feel? To know if it's actually benefiting you. And, you know, let me know what you want to see from me. And I'm trying to keep up with the vlogs. I know the vlogs have been a hit, so I'm really happy about that. That's literally like a dream come true. But if there's any topics you want me to talk about, want me to cover, want me to explore, let me know. And just thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, especially if you made it to this point. Like, okay, wow. Like, I'm so lucky for that. Thank you so much for everything. I love you. I'm rooting for you. We're in this together. Please subscribe if you have not, especially if you're still watching. Why aren't you subscribed? It helps me so much. And keep up with me on my other socials too. And I'll see you in my next one.